awakening the masses and what happened to him with every single American. All right, I want you to share this video with every single American that you know. One of the most disgusting, underhanded, slimy, scummy, and cowardly things a cop can do is solicit a trespass. We're going to go over this video right here from Jeff Gray from Honor Your Oath Civil Rights Investigations, talking about this guy Mike from Awakening the Masses and what happened to him. I'm going to let Mike explain to you what he was doing when the Nassau County Sheriff's Department messed with Mike and solicited a trespass. Because I'm telling you, soliciting a trespass almost always involves deception, outright lies, bad faith, and definitely abuse of power under the color of law. Listen to this.
Here's a scenario. I was working a workers' compensation case that day, and I had worked this subject 3 or 4 times previously in the past week or so. And actually, I got heated up on the file, and I was using a secondary surveillance vehicle, my son's car, and the tent in his vehicle's not as dark as the tent on my truck that I use for surveillance. So, and I mention that because it's part of the reason I got burnt at the church. So anyway, I'm working this lady. It's 3rd or 4th time I'm working her. I'm in my son's car. I follow her a couple different places. She ends up going to a church function with a couple kids. They were having some kind of festive event. I'm not sure what it is. I think it was a Bible school camp or something like that. So they go inside the church, and I film that, you know, my subject going inside the church. I was across the street at Winn-Dixie when I filmed that. And about an hour later, or whatever it was, however later, the kids started coming out of the church, and adults started coming out of the church and going into an adjacent field, and started playing and games, and looked like they had food and whatever. They were just having some fun. So my subject's out there. I'm filming my subject, and because she came outside, I was across the highway. It's a dual highway. There was a lot of traffic, and the video footage I was getting wasn't really that great. So I decided to move across the street to the church parking lot and park in the parking lot, and put in my visor, and I'm getting my video footage, and my subject's coming into and out of view. So obviously I'm recording, and then there's times I'm not recording. Apparently they had security going around the parking lot, which I wasn't aware of, obviously, and they saw me through the window, I guess, holding a camera like this, like I do, you know, when I had my visor down a little bit. So I think someone saw me through the side window. And I wasn't filming at the point they made contact with me. One gentleman, I saw him out of the corner of my eye, approached the vehicle. My camera was down at the time. I wasn't filming. And I rolled the window down. He asked me, you know, I think he said to me, you know, hey, was I here for the event, or why was I there? And I said,
by the way, it's perfectly understandable to be concerned when children are present to see a guy recording and then going up to ask him questions. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
yeah, I'm just waiting for a friend of mine. He asked me to meet him here, and he should be here any minute. And the guy said to me, he says, do you have any kids here at this event? And I'm like, no, sir, I don't have any kids. Like I said, I'm waiting for a friend of mine. This is where he told me to meet him. I've been waiting for a few minutes, and he should be here any minute. And the guy said, well, you know, we got these kids and this event going on. He said, I'd feel more comfortable if you waited across the street at Winn-Dixie. I'm like, no problem, dude. I totally get it. I apologize. Wasn't trying to cause any problems. So I started my car up and I left. Now, this is important. This is important because this is what happened. The person that made contact with me was not the pastor at the church. Donald Sheeran is his name. It was not him that made contact with me. It was someone else. It was a white male in his mid to late 30s, tall, thin, short hair. You know, that Caucasian. That's who it was. It wasn't Donald Sheeran. So again, asked me to go across the street, so I backed up and I left. I went across the street. And so I'm parked across the street, and to address the issue about me parking in a weird way, look, man, I'm sure it was weird to everyone else, because it was, because I was parked in a position that cars wouldn't normally park. But you got to understand, man, when I'm doing my thing, I don't care what other people think, as long as my subject's not aware of what I'm doing, my actions don't make them become aware of what I'm doing. I had a reason for parking the way I did. I'm not going to get into it. It's not relevant. The point is, I had a reason for doing that. And most importantly, it wasn't illegal. Where I was parked was in a private parking lot, and I was parked how I chose to park, which was not illegal. So that's the setup. That's where we are. The video is going to take off with Deputy Gray arriving on scene and making contact with me. And within, I think, 5 to 7 seconds, I tell him I'm not filming kids. I tell him I'm an investigator, and I present him with my Florida state license, Florida investigator's license. So within 7 seconds, all right? And then let's see what happens from there. Enjoy.
What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man?
Hey, we're getting phone calls that you're with binoculars watching kids.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm working.
Working what?
I'm not watching kids.
Okay, what are you doing then?
I'm an investigator.
All right, did you call the sheriff's office to say that?
No.
You're supposed to do that. You got some ID on you, brother? And you're in the middle of the parking lot, not even in a parking space.
This is private property.
Okay, you're in the middle of the roadway. Do you have ID on you or not?
Do not take apple cider vinegar before you see this. Vinegar works to help you slim down in 3 special ways. Number
Been in crime?
Anytime that you are a private investigator, do you have a Florida ID on you?
That's my investigator license, sir.
Okay. So you're saying that you're an investigator. Do you have ID saying that you're an investigator?
Is that my investigator's license?
Okay, it is. I thought you handed me the wrong one. My bad.
I thought it did too, maybe. I have a concealed weapons permit. I don't have any weapons in the vehicle.
Okay.
When you said that, I thought maybe I handed you the wrong one.
No, that's okay. That was my bad. So typically, you're supposed to notify the sheriff's office.
Mike is actually giving the cop more than the cop deserves, and Mike doesn't have to give him any ID or answer to him for any reason. He didn't commit a crime.
If you're going to be doing any private investigations whatsoever. But you're also blocking the flow of traffic right here. You know what I'm saying? How long are you going to be here for?
I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Well, stand by for just a minute. Are you investigating somebody at the church?
I can't discuss that.
That is a weird way to park. That is a weird way to park. But if that was the objection the cop had, Mike is still not doing anything illegal, and he could have asked Mike to move. Hey, look, I'm not here to infringe on your right to be anonymous. Could you just please move your vehicle into a parking spot? See ya. Have a good day.
901-1001, can you come over here? 77.
I'm in and out.
Hey, officer, I'm the pastor over there.
What's up, brother?
So when I pulled up a few minutes ago, he had the left-hand corner of his shade up, and he was filming kids.
Yeah.
So
Hold on.
That's why we got here.
You might want to stay back over there, brother. Go back over there. Huh? You don't have a right to hear anything. You go back over there. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Yeah, he does.
Okay. I'll talk to you over here.
Yep.
Tell him to stay over there. He says he's a private investigator. Here's his ID. I didn't get a chance to run him yet.
He doesn't get.
Now, I want you to keep in mind the entire time, these cops know they're being recorded on their body cam. Specifically, we're going to hone in on the cop who goes into Winn-Dixie to solicit the trespass through lies and intrigue and deceit and underhandedness.
We're right to film kids.
Oh, I know. 100%. He's supposed to also call the sheriff's office and say that, hey, we're doing this, that, and the other.
I wonder if that's true.
I think he's been argumentative since day one, or since I got here.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can't.
so let's cover this so far. So contact's been made with me. I've ID'd myself, gave my Florida investigator's license, told him I wasn't watching kids. He goes to his patrol vehicle, presumably to run me, but which he doesn't do. A few moments later, the pastor shows up and another deputy, Deputy Allen, shows up. He gets out of his patrol vehicle, Deputy Gray does, hands Deputy Allen my Florida State investigator's license and says he's an investigator. I haven't had a chance to run him yet. Okay? So, and Deputy Allen takes my ID and he approaches me. And then Deputy Gray proceeds to talk to the pastor, who makes allegations, which aren't true. And then Deputy Gray makes the comment, basically to the effect of, yeah, I've been uncooperative since Jump Street, since day one. And, it's just been a problem, which is absolutely absurd. So that's what we've got so far. And I point this out because it's my opinion that is exactly why this turned out the way it did. Deputy Gray did not like the fact that I wouldn't give him my Florida driver's license. I told him my investigator license was acceptable or suitable. And then he asked me who I was watching, and I told him I couldn't discuss that, and that set him off. That's why all this happened after this. So let's continue.
You can't film children, and a lot of our children can't be filmed because of...
Now, notice what the pastor's saying. He's just making a definitive statement. He was filming children. You can't film children. Instead of going, it looks like he was filming children, but it might be that he wasn't filming children. So this pastor of this church, who's supposed to be an upright man, who's supposed to be above board, more above board than anybody else because he's a shepherd of a flock and he's supposed to be setting an example, could be lying about this guy. Making definitive statements about something you don't know to be true. Come on, pastor.
Different court cases and different things of that nature. You can't do it.
Right.
So I want him trespassed. I don't want him near it. And if you put him in jail, lock him up.
If he's not on the property, I can't trespass him.
But he was on the property.
He was on the property?
Yeah,
when?
he was right there when I pulled up and filming a kid.
Okay.
So you can hear it. I mean, I saw you filming a kid with your window thing up. You're videoing it from our parking lot. It's against the law. Lock him up. Thank y'all.
All right. Well, let me get you out if you want to trespass.
Yep, I want to.
Okay.
From the pastor, lock him up.
There's my real estate card.
Well, I don't need that. I just need your ID.
So used to giving them.
No, you're fine. Hey, Jones, you do me a favor? Find out if Winn-Dixie wants him trespass, please.
Yeah. And I want that video camera. Like it needs to come. Like we've got kids that cannot be filmed. I mean, they can't be filmed.
You can't solicit a trespass. That's against the law. You go in there and solicit a trespass, I'll hold you legally accountable. What is your name and badge number, sir?
Officer Dan Jones, 1198.
Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. Yeah. Go in there and solicit a trespass. What is your name, sir?
Ray, G-R-A-Y.
Okay.
And let's just talk for a moment about soliciting a trespass. I typed this into Chat GPT. Can a cop solicit a trespass? And it came up with some pretty good stuff. The concept of a police officer soliciting a trespass refers to the idea of a law enforcement officer encouraging or prompting a property owner or manager to file a trespass complaint against someone who likely is innocent. While this situation can occur, the legality and appropriateness of it depends on the context. It says responding to a call. Let me just go down here. Soliciting a trespass, ethical and legal concerns. A more questionable scenario occurs when an officer proactively suggests to a property owner that they should file a trespass complaint, especially if the property owner did not initially express an issue. This could be seen as soliciting a trespass, and it raises potential concerns. Number one, abuse of authority. Absolutely is. Because when they walk into that shop or that store, or that property owner's establishment, they're coming with an air of authority, and they know that everybody else knows that this person is an authority, and more than likely they will just submit to whatever they have to say because cops can't lie. If an officer pushes a property owner to file a trespass complaint against someone for reasons unrelated to the property owner's wishes, for instance, if the officer has a personal issue with the individual, i.e. contempt of cop and bruised ego, it could be seen as an abuse of power. You think? Discriminatory or retaliatory practices. If the officer is trying to remove someone from the property based on discriminatory motives, race, gender, etc., or retaliation, which looks like what the Nassau Sheriff's Department is doing right here with Mike, it could raise civil concerns. The police should not pressure a property owner to trespass someone without a legitimate basis. We're going to watch this. They have no legitimate basis, and the pressure comes through manipulation, deception, and outright lies against Mike while this cop, this deputy, is recording it with his body cam. He's recording his own lie on body camera that he knows can be FOIA requested. That's how out to lunch mentally this deputy is. Legal precedents. Courts have ruled that officers cannot violate a person's rights by acting outside their lawful authority if an officer attempts to manufacture a trespass scenario by soliciting the property owner's cooperation without cause. It could potentially lead to legal challenges or claims of misconduct.
So while Deputy Jones is walking inside Winn-Dixie to solicit a trespass, this interaction happens with Deputy Allen, who is holding my investigator license the entire time. Enjoy.
Mr. Huffman, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
I know you're a private investigator. I see your credentials. Okay? But there's two parts to this for me. All right? My grandson's over there. So you see where I'm concerned.
No, I don't.
You don't see a concern that I have a grandson across the street?
Sir, what are you holding in your hands?
Your ID.
It's a state issue ID saying I'm an investigator.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what would that lead you to be being a law enforcement officer? Would that lead
You're
you to
investigating
do
something.
Okay. So that would lead to believe I'm doing something I'm legally entitled to do.
Yeah.
All right. So then why would you have a suspicion that I'm a bad guy?
At this point, I don't.
That in and of itself is antithetical to the free market, because if a party wants to hire another party, whether they're licensed or not, to gather information on somebody who could be, this guy was working a workers' compensation case. If a company hired a private individual who's not licensed or approved or doesn't get the permission of Big Daddy State, if you need a license to do something that you have the freedom to do anyway because you're an American, this is not the land of the free, home of the brave. And by the way, this cop, this deputy, has the credentials in his hand the entire time saying that this guy's a private investigator. How many times do they ask you for press credentials? So apparently, even when they get credentials in their hands, they still run roughshod over people's rights.
Making, sir.
At this point, I don't.
Okay.
But as a concerned grandfather, I have a concern, like you would if you had a grandchild in the same situation.
Absolutely, but I presented you with an ID.
Mm-hmm.
I've identified who I am.
Okay.
I'm not hiding from anything.
Correct.
The credentials I presented you present a certain situation would lead you to believe, okay, this guy's working a case.
Okay, all right, that's all I had to know. That's all you had to say.
That's common sense, I would think.
Okay, that's all you had to say.
All right, guys, here comes the best part. At least I think it is. You're about to see video proof of a violation of Section 18, or excuse me, Title 18, Section 242, deprivation of rights under the color of law. These two deputies conspire to deprive me of my rights. You hear them say...
That would be Title 28, 28 USC 241 and 241. Actually, it's 18 USC 241 and 242. 241 is conspiracy against rights, and 242 is deprivation of rights under color of law. So they're guilty of both of these things.
That I'm not doing anything wrong, anything illegal. They can't just kick me off the property without a complaint from Winn-Dixie, without a trespass. And he says, Deputy Gray says, I don't think they'll trespass him. He's not doing anything wrong. And then what happens? While this is being said, Deputy Jones is inside Winn-Dixie lying to them, telling them I'm filming kids after knowing I'm an investigator, and gets me solicited to trespass. So, it's incredible. So, enjoy.
So he was seen on the property over there. I can't give him a written warning, just a verbal warning for trespass.
Yeah, but you could write him an illegal parking ticket.
Yeah, he said it's private property.
I mean, true, push an issue on the private property part, but that's not a parking spot.
Yeah. So, as far as the Winn-Dixie goes, if they're doing trespassing, I don't think they will, because he's not doing anything there.
No, they haven't complained. They got to have a complainant.
Mm-hmm.
They have to have a complainant. in order for you to trespass him from Winn-Dixie, and Winn-Dixie hasn't complained.
Well, as far as like the video and stuff that he's talking about, I can't make him leave that thing.
No, he's not. You can't make him leave. It's open to public property, and he has every right to be here until Winn-Dixie says they don't want him here.
Right. I'm just talking about the video that he allegedly took.
Alpha 1001 HQ.
10 on go.
27 comes back to Brandon Hoffman out of Jacksonville Valley, 1054, 1029. 1054 on any calls for private investigators today.
26 seconds. What firm is it with?
Sir?
1001 from 5207.
You can wait.
I spoke with the manager of Winn-Dixie. The unit here at 43, they definitely want him trespass.
Oh,
so they don't
God.
want anybody on the grounds doing that.
10-4,
has to get her information.
As far as like the video and stuff that he allegedly took, I can't make him get rid of that.
No, you can't make him get rid of any of the video or anything like that. He just can't go back on their property.
Deputy, am I being detained?
As of right now, yes, sir, you are.
Am I being detained
As of right now, yes, sir, you are.
For
You are
what?
being trespassed from the Winn-Dixie.
for suspicion of what crime am I being detained?
As of right now, the video went across the street. That's what our call was about. And now that they want you trespassed, you're being detained.
Who wants me trespassed?
Winn-Dixie.
Winn-Dixie wants me trespassed. So I'm being detained for trespass.
Currently.
You understand how the law reads a trespass first? I must first be given the opportunity to leave the property when told by a proper agent of that property. Was I given that opportunity? Once again, am I being detained? Deputy, am I being detained?
It's so easy for them to wave somebody off when they know the law better than the law enforcers.
You can just trespass when you be able to leave.
Sir, that's a yes or no question. Am I being detained?
That's currently being done.
For suspicion of what crime? Are you deaf, sir? Boy, you guys, I tell you, you all earn your reputation nowadays.
Yep, they do.
It's disgusting.
They earn the hate.
Disgusting.
It is.
Absolutely disgusting. You all sit around your departments and wonder why the public feels the way they feel. You all hide behind the words like safety, children. Words like that you hide behind.
Yep. The safety of the people will always be the alibi of
Is there a
tyrants.
supervisor on scene?
No, it's not here.
I like to have a supervisor on scene. I also like to have business cards from each and every deputy that's on location right now.
You're welcome to have that, and we can contact the sergeant, see if he's close by and respond.
Now we're going to go inside the Winn-Dixie and watch the actual solicitation of the trespass occur on body cam. It's crazy.
Hey, good. There's some guy, we're trespassing him from the Journey over there. He's basically filming people at the Journey Church from y'all's parking lot. Is the manager available?
Yes.
Here goes conspiracy.
Hey, good.
Alpha
So
1001
there's this guy who's filming kids at the Journey Church across the street, and he's parked in y'all's
27
parking
comes
lot.
back to
Totally made that up. Totally lying against the guy. So this guy needs to be put on the Brady list, right? Because you can't trust anything that he says. Personally, I think the guy should be fired, pension liquidated, and he should go to jail immediately for what he's doing.
Brandon
Start
Hoffman
filming or looking
out of
at
Jacksonville
them. Y'all
Valley,
want him
1054,
trespassed?
1029. 1054 on any calls
Alright,
for private investigators today.
Nice.
Well, what's the manager going to say? He's using our parking lot to film children? Yeah, we don't want any part of that. You can't blame her, but she's getting manipulated and hornswoggled, and the wool is being pulled over her eyes by somebody who's supposed to be protecting and serving the community.
I had no idea at all.
1001 from 5207. I spoke with the manager of Winn-Dixie. Do you need her 43? They definitely want him trespassed. They said they don't want anybody on the grounds doing that.
What a manipulative, slimy, scummy coward.
Sure. Just have your license. That way I can just add you in the call or add you on. Yeah.
Now he's going to add insult to injury, and he's literally going to victimize the manager that he just lied to by making her insecure in her person, getting her ID.
It's really weird. He's tried to lie, say he was a private investigator. They just ran him. He's not a private investigator. So.
He's continuing to lie. Oh my God.
I didn't even know about that.
You got you a sticky and a pen. I can just scribble in. It's Georgia, so
yeah.
Not that's a problem. But. Perfect. We'll just do this.
No, that's crazy.
There's some numbers on this, Georgia.
Did someone call, or did y'all just like see him?
And the church called across the street, and he was over there, and then I guess they ran him off and he parked in y'all's parking lot. It's not even a legal spot.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there creeping. I don't know what, why. Said he's an investigator. He's not a private investigator.
Yeah, somebody's filming kids across the street in our property.
He is just continuing to lie. Now his lie went to the manager. Now the manager just promoted and propagated the lie to somebody else.
Yeah, at the journey there, he's like, he was on their property, and they ran him off, so he came over and just parked, and he's just like staring straight out into it's a gray Mercedes. If you go out and look to your right, it's out there with a bunch of police right now.
White male, black male?
White male. So, like I said, don't know what's up with him. He said he was a private investigator. They ran him. He's not that.
Kids for.
I know, right? So.
I'll keep an eye out for him.
Yeah, if he comes back, I mean, this was trespassing.
Now he's trespassed, essentially barred from shopping at Winn-Dixie because of the lie of the deputies, the lies by this deputy, and the collusion and the conspiracy with the other deputies.
There you go.
Second trespass.
What's the store number here?
Phone number 142.
I mean,
the address.
Phone number.
Phone number.
What's your?
87.
So I'm going to just leave this at this. What I'll do is I will leave the link to Awakening the Masses. That's Mike's channel. I'm going to leave the fundraiser, but apparently, according to Honor Your Civil Rights Investigations, Jeff Gray over there, there's a lawsuit inbound and he needs help, legal help, and we need to help this guy out. This is just uncalled for. The Nassau County Sheriff's Department needs to be held accountable. Every officer involved in this little conspiracy against this American, our fellow American, they need to be at the very least fired and decertified. And really, if justice had any part in this, they should be jailed. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought, please, in the comment section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, subscribe to Mike's channel. Also, if you haven't done so, subscribe to my brand new channel called The Disturbing Illusion, where we not only expose the left versus right, paradigm lie, dog and pony show under the big top, we also do a lot of man on the street interviews, and we've visited, the devastation and the devastated areas over there in Asheville, North Carolina, Chimney Rock, Lake Lure, and all those places. So I've got a couple of interactive videos that you might want to see, you might want to take a look at. Be very, very interesting, and I'd be very interested to see what you guys have to say. Leave your comments there. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification icon. Give it a thumbs up. Share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel further, the links are in the description. In the meantime, the price of freedom is now and will always be eternal vigilance. And indifference to this notion is the means by which the people have and will secure their own oppression. We need to stop securing our own oppression, and we need to start today. I'll see you in the next video.
It's time to feed the dogs